All right. You know what time it is. Yeah, it's Rock Doc time. How you doing all out there today? Okay, Neil Ratner, Rock Doc with a story. Saturday, July 6th, 1957. Probably one of the most significant days in the history of rock and roll, because that was the day that Paul McCartney met John Lennon. And today, I thought I'd tell you a few things that you might not know about the meeting, but as usual, a little background first. All right, 16-year-old John Lennon and his band, The Quarrymen, were scheduled to play at the garden party of St. Peter's Church in the Woolton section of Liverpool. Now, as well as music, there'd be craft and cake stalls, games, police dog demonstrations, and, of course, the traditional crowning of the Rose Queen. And the party was the highlight of the year for local residents. Now, the entertainment began in the afternoon with the procession of multiple decorated open-back trucks, one of which contained Lennon and his band. Now, John, his balance wasn't so good, so he sat with his legs dangling over the edge, playing guitar and singing. And then the band played a set on a stage set up behind the field as part of the festivities. Now, that evening, the Quarrymen were also due to play again at the grand dance across the street in the church. Now, while they were setting up their equipment, a friend and part-time member of the Quarrymen who played T-chest bass, wasn't playing that day, but he was there. His name was Ivan Vaughan, and he wanted to introduce the band to his classmate from Liverpool Institute, who happened to be a 15-year-old Paul McCartney. Now, according to McCartney, I remember coming into the party and seeing all the sideshows and also hearing all the great music wafting in from this little tannoy system. It was John and the band. I remember I was amazed and thought, oh, great, because I was obviously into music. I remember John singing a song called Come Go With Me. He'd heard it on the radio. He didn't really know the verses, but he knew the chorus. The rest he just made up himself. I just thought, well, he looks good, he's singing well, and he seems like a great lead singer to me. So, Paul and John began to talk, and it wasn't long before Paul was showing John how to tune his guitar. McCartney then sang Eddie Cochran's 20 Flight Rock and Gene Vincent's Be-Bop-A-Lula, along with a medley of songs by Little Richard. Now, Lennon was equally impressed with McCartney, who showed a natural talent for singing songs that the Quarrymen worked very hard to accomplish. Then, Paul went even further. He sat down and started to play this old broken-down church piano. I also looked around on the backstage piano, and that would have been a whole lot of shaking by Jerry Lee. That's what I remember John leaning over, contributing a deft right hand in the upper octaves, and surprising me with his beery breath. It's not that I was shocked, it's just that I remember this particular detail. Yeah, all right, rock and roll, drinking beer, 16 years old, whatever, okay. Now, after the Quarrymen show, the group, along with Ivan Vaughan and McCartney, went to a Woolton pub where they lied about their ages to get served. Later on, Lennon and a group member named Pete Shotton discussed the young Paul McCartney and whether or not to invite him to join their group. John was conflicted. He knew Paul was extremely talented, but was afraid that Paul would pose a challenge to his leadership of the group. On the other hand, having another very, very talented musician in the group was a choice he couldn't resist. So they decided McCartney would be a great asset, and roughly 2 weeks later, Shotton happened to see Paul pedaling around Woolton on his bicycle. He stopped him. Paul mulled over the invitation to join, wasn't so sure, but eventually he agreed to join the Quarrymen's ranks. And as they say, the rest is rock and roll history. Yeah, Lennon and McCartney, how much better does it get than that? One of the great combinations in music history, that's for sure. All right, that's my story. I hope everybody in America is having a great 4th of July weekend. The extreme heat has broken today. It's a beautiful day, no humidity. If it's nice where you are, get out. My book is still available. Rock Doc, Neil Ratner, rockdoc.com. Buy the book from there. I'll autograph it any way that you want. Also available on Amazon in all formats. Listen to me on WDST Radio Woodstock, either on iHeartRadio or at 100.1 if you happen to be up here. I have a little show at 3 o'clock on Saturdays and Sundays. This Week in Rock. I'll have an episode today, 3 o'clock today. You can listen, access it on the website later in the week. Maybe I'll post it. That's it. All right. Happy end of the 4th of July weekend if you're in the States. Happy weekend wherever you are. I'll see you all with my posts this week, with another live video on the radio, and who knows where else, doing some interviews this week, so maybe you'll catch me there. All right. Have a great one. See you soon. Bye.